next segue is mixed metaphor for this day in history and
Mixed
Rocktober
metaphor.
and all this 20 things we do in this segment.
That's Rocktober. And for another week, it's still Rocktober, everybody.
Yeah.
So we got at least 6 more days of this. And we're going to go all the way back. Well, we're going to start. We do it the reverse order. We do the this day in history. We're going to go backwards in time slowly. As Fats Domino died in this day in 2017, one of the pioneers of rock and roll. In fact, his drummer invented the backbeat, as they say, for rock and roll. American pianist and singer-songwriter Fats Domino died at the age of 89 in his home in Harvey, Louisiana, after a long-term illness. Domino attracted national attention with his first recording of the Fat Man, made in late 1949 for Imperial Records. An early rock and roll record, probably the first rock and roll record. The Fat Man sold 1 million copies in 1953 and was widely considered the first rock and roll record to achieve that feat. Domino had 35 records, U.S. Top 40. His 1956 version of Blueberry Hills elected to the Library of Congress National Recording Registry of Historic and Sound Recordings worth of preservation. And let's bring up that Fats Domino survived the Hurricane Katrina. Everybody thought he was dead. They couldn't find him. And yeah,
really?
He was just sitting at home. Yeah, he couldn't leave his home because he was wheelchair ridden. But he did survive, and he lived until 2017, at the age of 89. So let's go back a little bit farther in this world. In 2006, Forbes.com revealed that Kurt Cobain had overtaken Elvis as the highest earning dead celebrity. Well, his kid's going to be spending that money, I guess. Cobain's work earned him over $50 million as of 2006 in the 12 months of October 2006, compared with Presley's $42 million. Former Beatle John Lennon earned $35 million. Yeah, well, it's an industry being a dead celebrity. You didn't even realize it. 2006, Taylor Swift released her first self-titled studio album. She started as a country singer at the age of 16 because country. Oh, Scam Blakely's calling me again. Go ahead, Scam. Anyway, she topped the country album charts for 24 non-consecutive weeks, selling over 7 million copies. Never to be heard from again, am I right? Just kidding. 1997, Sting went to #1 UK album chart with the solo release, Nothing Like the Sun. There is nothing like the sun, that's for sure. We're going to get back a little bit farther in the world here. 1973, John Lennon began litigation against the U.S. government, accusing them of tapping his telephone. And you know when people are tapping your telephone because there's like a little hollow sound in there. Like that sound is going and it's going somewhere and it's a little tiny faint echo. You know you're being tapped. And he was being tapped. It has been revealed, of course, through the Freedom of Information Act. John Lennon was indeed having his phone tapped by the FBI because, you know, J. Edgar Hoover, one of your original fascist Americans. 1970, Pink Floyd did their first #1 album with Adam Hart Mother. I was talking about this earlier. They didn't identify themselves as Pink Floyd. I think they just had the title of the album and sold a lot of copies. People like pictures of cows. That's I'm just saying. That's got to be what it is. On the 1963, on the first day of their foreign tour, the Beatles spent a day in Stockholm, Sweden, recording a performance for the radio program titled The Beatles, pop group from Liverpool. Well, it's in Swedish, but it says Beatles pop grupp från Liverpool på besök I Stockholm. That's Swedish for something. And anyway, that was this day in history. 1962, James Brown recorded his legendary Live at the Apollo album. The album was listed number 24, Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. That's crazy. And born on this day, I had to look this up, is probably the third longest current living rock and roll star. And that is the bass player for the Rolling Stones, Mr. Bill Wyman, born in 1936. Wait, let's see, 1936? Yeah, 1936! English musician Bill Wyman was born. So he's turned 89. He's the third oldest rock star. The oldest being people I looked up earlier and I can't remember. I know they listed Willie Nelson, but he was never a rock star. So let's get on to this day in history. 1636, Dutch microscopist Antony van Leeuwenhoek, who became the first to observe bacteria and protozoa. Just in case you were wondering where that came from.
Leeuwenhoek.
Yeah, he didn't see any amoebas, though. Or you would have said, adios, amoebas. Anyway.
Don't think you would have spoke Spanish at all, but yeah.
Who knows? He's a microscopist. Maybe he spoke 10 languages. 1648, the Peace of Westphalia ended in 80 Years' War between Spain and Dutch in the German phase of the 30 Years' War.
And it still didn't end there. So. At least that's what a lot of academics argue, that didn't end the 100 Years' War. That's why it was 100 after that.
A war-like people. 1861, the first transcontinental telegram was sent via the telegraph, the only way to sell a telegram, actually, in the United States, effectively bringing to an end the Pony Express. That's right. You did not need to deliver your mail. You could just send a telegram. That was the end of that shit. 1917, more than 60,000 Italians surrendered or retreated at the Battle of Caporetto during World War I. That's a lot of damn surrendering. 1922, Benito Mussolini helped plan the March on Rome, which began on October 28th and resulted in him becoming dictator in Italy. We need a march on Washington. Like, let's just pick people up along the way and just go. They're turning on the White House anyway. We might as well just finish the job. 1929, a record 12,894,650 shares of stock were traded on this day, causing the first day of the real panic in the crash of 1929, known as Black Thursday. So yeah, we're in the anniversary of the stock market totally taking a crap. Why did the stock market take a crap? Because I used to have this thing called buying on margin. You did not have to have the money to buy stocks. All you had to do was own a stock. Hey, you bought that stock for $7, now it's worth $50. You have $43 worth of margin there. Let's use that margin you have to buy more stock. Okay, here's your $43. Okay, that stock is not, next day, that stock you bought for $43 is now worth 3 cents. Where's the money you owe us? I don't have it, I bought it on margin. Oh, yeah, your other stocks crashed too. You don't even have a margin anymore. So that's why the stock market crashed. It happened over and over again with big investors. They got called in on their margins, they didn't have the money, and then they jumped out a window. And that actually is what happened. People just jumped out of windows because I don't have the money to cover this. I'm dead. Hopefully my kids get a life insurance policy or whatever, but that's what happened, man. A lot of people bought stock with money. Yeah, buying on margin with money you don't have. 1922, I'm going backwards, going forward in history. 1940, the 40-hour work week went into effect. So happy 85th to the 40-hour work week in the United States. Of course, France is down to what, 30 hours? 20? And they get to retire when they're 12. So yeah, France has got it going. 1962, an American Cold War thriller, The Manchurian Candidate, was released starring Mr. Frank Sinatra. And it was a major hit, especially noted for its performance of Angela Lansbury. Oh, let's forget Frank Sinatra. 1970, oh, by the way, we do have a Manchurian president. Not necessarily Manchurian, but, you know, it's a metaphor. 1970, Salvador Allende's election was the first Marxist president of Chile. Of course, there was a coup supported by Mr. Henry Kissinger later that toppled that government because Henry Kissinger was a pile of shit. 1992, the Toronto Blue Jays defeated the Atlanta Braves to become the first team not based in the United States to win the World Series. The Toronto Blue Jays currently in the World Series. So go Toronto, go Canada, let's go Canada. They got one team and they're going to win the freaking World Series. They got to beat the Dodgers. Come on, Blue Jays, you can do it. 2003, supersonic passenger service ended as British Airways flew its last Concorde flight. Air France had ceased similar operations in May. I read a story where Air France once mistakenly painted their Concorde blue, a color of blue, that when it went at supersonic speeds, heated up the fuselage to an unbearable temperature. So they just had to fly at regular speeds. They couldn't even go to speed of sound. That blue paint got really hot, so they couldn't even fly it. It's a supersonic. It's like, what a waste. People paying extra to get their same exact time they would have gotten a regular airplane is hilarious. 2005, African-American civil rights activist Rosa Parks died at the age of 92. Her refusal to relinquish her seat on a public bus and a white man in 1955 helped ignite the American civil rights movement. Rest in peace, Miss Activist Rosa Parks. 2017 we did Fats Domino. We did Fats Domino passing away, so we don't have to rehash that. We don't want to make him die twice. 1945, the United Nations was established on this day. The Charter for the United Nations, the world's premier international organization established at the end of World War II to maintain world peace, which is definitely happening, and friendly relations, also definitely happening, entered into force in this day in 1945. Our featured biography is Luciano Berio, Italian composer, born October 25th, 1925. His 100th birthday today. Yeah! He died at the age of 77 now in 2003 in Rome. Born in Oneglia, Italy. Other birthdays today. Let's see. Bahadur Shah II, a Mughal emperor. Born in 1775. Malcolm Turnbull, Prime Minister of Australia, born in 1954. Wayne Rooney, British footballer, born in 1985. And Drake, go Canada again! Drake born on this day. What would be better for a birthday than the Toronto Blue Jays win a game, right? So happy birthday to Drake, born in 1986. Our National Day calendar is very short. We have National Bologna Day, which we came into already. National Pharmacy Buyer Day. I haven't bought a pharmacy in my entire life, so I don't know what that's involved in. And it's National Food Day. And who doesn't love food? So there's your haikus, your spins, your sarcasm, everything, your mispronunciations, your international intrigue for today, Friday, October 24th, 2025 on Before Food.
All the food. We have all of the food in the history of humanity. Okay.
Gotta have National Food Day. Anything is food for that matter. That's food for thought.
Opened the wrong thing. There we go.
Oh, not the wrong thing. Okay.
Let me give you a mixed metaphor, which is...
Mix it.
Or where was it? I had it written down somewhere.
Man.
I guess we're slurping up the wrong beanstalk for Food Day. Of course, that's what the Giants were doing in that story. The Giants were eating everything, the entire farm. He went to go get his cow. Hey, you stole my
green
cow.
Giant. Green
my favorite
giant.
Cow. Even though that cow was old and dried up, but still his favorite cow.
That Holstein that's on the cover of
the Pink Floyd album, yeah.
Yeah.
In
Adam
our
Hart Mother.
international days and weeks and what calendar, our United Nations observances. Today and until next Thursday, it is Disarmament Week. That's right, everyone. We can't
take off your arms.
We can't get rid of war if we don't disarm everyone. We can't kill each other. We can't have a war. Weapons of mass destruction, and in particular nuclear weapons, continue to be a primary concern owing to their destructive power and the threat they may pose to humanity. So that's why we told Ukraine to get rid of theirs and then let them get invaded by Russia.
Yeah.
Let's remember that for a week.
Actually, a bad idea.
Then it's also
unilaterally
global...
disarm.
Yeah. Go ahead. Then it's also Global Media Information Literacy Week. So that's a very important thing, especially on this show. People need to think. And by thinking, I mean doing your own research, consuming information, and then understanding that information to create your own, like literacy, right? Reading and literacy are not the same thing. I can read that this says walk. But what does the walk mean in the sentence, right? This is what's important about literacy. Understanding how all these words together mean something, and they're trying to tell you something.
Reading comprehension.
Exactly.
This is why critical thinking should be taught in schools. So you just don't believe everything people feed you, and then defend it. You defend things with no information. I don't know how many people I have arguments with. They have no information, and they can't defend their own position. What are you even talking about?
And then we can use that, of course, for public opinion, right? You are You have literacy, you have media literacy, you understand the things that are being said to you. You can understand when AI is bullshitting you and lying to you. You can make an opinion from that. Yes, we love using our brains here on Before Coffee. Those are all your international observances for today and the weekend.